Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be participating along with Prime Minister Scott Morrison of Australia, Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga of Japan and President Joe Biden of USA in the Leaders Summit of the Quadrilateral Framework in Washington, D.C., USA on the 24th of September 2021. The Quad leaders will be focused on deepening ties and advancing practical cooperation on areas such as combating COVID-19, addressing the climate crisis, partnering on emerging technologies and cyberspace, and even promoting a free and open Indo-Pacific. Here is a ground report by our principal diplomatic correspondent Sidhant Sibal from Washington, D.C.
Washington is all geared up for a mega geopolitical event, the first in-person summit of Quad leaders of India, United States, Australia and Japan. The summit marks a major milestone and coming of age for the grouping, which has been in works for some time now. One of the key focus areas in this summit will be the Indo-Pacific vision, which is being backed by India and the US among other countries in the region.
He will participate in the first in-person Quad Leaders Summit in Washington on September 24th. On September 25th, he will address the UN General Debate of the UN General Assembly at its 76th session. While Prime Minister is in Washington, he will also have a bilateral meeting with President Biden. We also look forward to bilateral meetings with other Quad leaders, time permitting, as well as bilateral meeting with some other leaders while he's in New York on September 25th.
United States is the first host of the Quad and President Biden had taken a lead on it early on. White House in a statement reiterated the Biden-Harris administration's priority of engaging in the Indo-Pacific through new multilateral configurations to meet the challenges of the 21st century.
On 12th of March, the Quad virtual summit happened, and the key outcome of the virtual Quad meeting was the vaccine initiative. Under this vaccine initiative, American COVID vaccines will be manufactured in India and they will be financed by US and Japan and logistically supported by the Australians.
A host of issues are on the table for the Quad summit, including maritime security, cyber security, critical and emerging technologies, connectivity and infrastructure, humanitarian assistance and disaster relief, and climate change. Washington will also see first in-person bilateral meeting between Prime Minister Modi and President Biden. Prime Minister Modi and President Biden have spoken 3 times so far and participated in Quad leaders and climate leaders virtual summits chaired by President Biden this year. From Washington, the focus will shift to New York later in the week, where the world leaders are converging for the United Nations General Assembly session. Prime Minister Modi will also address the 76th session of the UNGA.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New York will be addressing the General Assembly. During his speech, he is expected to talk about the UN reforms, about climate change, about the COVID crisis, and perhaps references to the Afghan crisis. But all in all, the visit of the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi to US very early on in the Biden administration shows the closeness between Washington and New Delhi, a relationship which is seen as the most consequential relationship of this century. With video journalist Neeraj Patel, Sidhant Sibal for WION in Washington, US.